what I love most about Frank is his sense of humor. He always makes me laugh, and I think that kind of just goes along with the type of person that he is, and he has a very, very good heart.
What I love most about Medina is she's very considerate. She's very caring for everyone and anyone, and just very thoughtful. It's just very natural for her to be outward and loving.
I'm Medina, I'm a Muslim, and I'm marrying Frank.
I'm Frank, I'm an evangelical Christian, and I'm marrying Medina. I guess when we met the first time, when you're in New York, you're at NYU, everyone's of a different religion, or at least of different denominations. It really didn't become a conversation point until we went on our first date. Like, we went and got coffee together, and we really talked about, oh, you're Muslim, I'm Christian, and that conversation came about.
I don't think the idea of his religion being different from mine was an issue, just because I grew up in an interfaith household. My mother's Muslim, my dad was a practicing Catholic, not anymore, and then whenever they divorced, my mom remarried a Baha'i, so my stepdad is Baha'i. So I kind of just grew up in this, mixture of culture and faiths.
For much of my youth, my parents were church shopping. And then in like 8th grade and most of high school, I started going to an inner city evangelical black church, and that's where I really felt rooted, like I felt like I had a community, and the worship and the theology really matched who I felt I was, and it's something I still think I bring with me today.
I have misconceptions of what I still can't say the word
Evangelical.
Evangelical Christian. One thing, I couldn't pronounce it. Another is that I always thought of them as the people that go on these mission trips, they come back and they're super zealous about the religion and trying to basically, convert the masses. So that's when he told me he was that, I remember thinking, okay, is he sure that he wants to date me, a Muslim, because I'm not converting? He showed me that the type of Christian that he is, it's very different, and he's non-denominational, which I had never heard of before. So I thought that was a very interesting perspective of him choosing not to be a part of a certain sect. When we told our friends and family about the engagement, everyone was extremely excited and happy for us, very ecstatic, more than I expected.
Some of my extended family, had a bit more, some reservations. Medina was probably the first Muslim they've ever met, coming from an evangelical, community. There were some people who just thought, that you're a Christian, you shouldn't marry a Muslim. But what's interesting is even people in my family who have a somewhat negative view of Muslims in general, everyone who's met Medina has loved her. And so it's been really interesting to kind of see that humanization process happen, in my own family.
And I think as a Muslim woman, it's a bit more difficult. Maybe not here in this country, but in other countries, you wouldn't see a Muslim woman marrying a Christian man. Usually someone would have to convert. How are you guys?
Congratulations, the hard part's over.
I know. I've definitely had a lot of conversations with friends that maybe are Muslim and very traditional in their thinking, or Christian, and they always ask me the same question, how are you going to raise your children though? Have you talked about that? And I always say, of course, we've talked about that extensively.
It's something I appreciate from my own faith tradition, is that when I was young, my parents allowed me to explore my own faith, and just having that ability to think about my faith on my own through my developmental years really gave me an appreciation for my faith that I think I wouldn't have had otherwise. And so thinking about that will be especially important for us when we're raising children together, to give them a similar experience where they can really understand what they believe and how they believe, and be able to grow and learn in that sort of way.
I think about our religions and how it's very important to us, and if anything, I think, wow, I'm very lucky to have found someone that can appreciate my religion and also knows a lot about it. I mean, sometimes he'll say things about Islam that I'm like, I didn't know that. And so I feel a little embarrassed, and if anything, it makes me stronger in my religion, because it makes me want to do more research and more reading about certain texts or certain, belief systems. Vice versa with his, there's things about his religion that I thought I knew, but really I didn't. So it makes me want to learn more about his. So I think it's been a very nice learning experience, and I think that will continue in our marriage.
Give it up. Give it up, give it up.